You have written the script. You have spoken the affirmations until your voice turned hoarse. You have pasted the images of the life you desire onto the walls of your sanctuary, staring at them until they burned into your retinas. You have done everything the modern gurus told you to do. You asked, you believed, you waited. And yet, the silence of the universe is deafening. The bank account remains unchanged. The lover does not return. The healing does not manifest. And in the quiet hours of the night, a terrifying thought begins to take root in the soil of your mind. Maybe I am broken. Maybe God is not listening. Or worse, maybe there is no one there at all. But what if I told you that the failure lies not in the universe, but in the translation? What if the law of attraction, as it has been sold to the masses in bright, shiny packages, is a half-truth, a fragmented echo of a much older, much more dangerous technology? For centuries, the ancient mystery schools, from the sands of Egypt to the Gnostic caves of Nag Hammadi, guarded a secret. They knew that the universe is not a vending machine that responds to your wants. It is a mirror that reflects your being. You are screaming, I want wealth into the void, but the frequency you are broadcasting is I am in lack. And the universe, in its impartial, mechanical precision, responds only to the broadcast, not the scream. This is the great tragedy of the modern seeker. You are trying to manipulate the external world with the force of your will, while your internal world is a chaotic storm of dissonance. You are trying to build a castle on a foundation of sand. Tonight, we strip away the New Age veneer. We go back to the source. We will analyze the lost texts of the Gnostics, the Hermetic principles of vibration, and the insights of Manifest the Divine to understand why the law is working for you. We are going to uncover the secret of alignment. The problem isn't that you don't want it enough. The problem is you are not it. To understand the mechanics of reality, we must leave the modern era and travel back to 1945, to the cliffs of Nag Hammadi in Upper Egypt. There, buried in a sealed jar for 1600 years, peasants discovered a library of texts that the Orthodox Church had tried to burn. Among them was the Gospel of Thomas. In these forbidden texts, Jesus of Nazareth speaks not as a savior demanding worship, but as a master of quantum mechanics. He does not speak of prayer in the sense of begging. He speaks of making the two one. In Logion 106 of the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus says, when you make the two into one, you will become sons of man. And when you say, mountain, move away, it will move. What are the two? They are the mind and the heart, the thought and the emotion, the conscious intent and the subconscious belief. Here lies the root of your failure. In the modern interpretation of the law of attraction, we are taught to use the mind. We visualize, we think, we plan. This is the masculine principle, the electric force. It projects. But Elena River, in Manifest the Divine, reminds us of the missing half of the equation, the divine feminine, the magnetic force, Te. Er. The ancients understood that the universe is electromagnetic. Thought is the electrical charge. Emotion is the magnetic field. If your mind says, I am abundant, but your heart holds the frequency of anxiety, fear, and unworthiness, you are creating a destructive interference pattern. You are stepping on the gas and the brake at the same time. The Church, in its effort to control the masses, removed this knowledge. They taught us that God is outside of us, a separate entity that must be petitioned. This concept of separation is the ultimate sin. In Greek, the word used for sin in the New Testament is hamartia. It is an archery term. Ethos not, man evil. It means missing the mark. You miss the mark because you are aiming from a place of separation. You are begging a God out there to give you something you lack in here. But the Hermetic principle of correspondence, written in the Emerald Tablet, states, as above, so below. As within, so without. There is no out there. The external reality you see, your empty bank account, your lonely apartment, your stagnant career is not a punishment. It is a feedback loop. It is a 3D printout of your internal state of alignment. The ancient Gnostics called this state of misalignment charismosa mixture, a confusion. When the internal waters are muddy, the reflection is distorted. You are trying to change the reflection in the mirror by scrubbing the glass, instead of changing the face that stands before it. To manifest the divine is not to get something, it is to remember who you are. The barrier to your desire is not a reluctant universe. The barrier is your own fractured identity. Let us dismantle the machinery of your reality. Elena River introduces a concept that bridges the gap between ancient mysticism and modern psychology, the difference between trying to manifest and state of being. Most people approach the law of attraction from a state of lack. I want this car because I don't have it. I want this love because I am lonely. I need this money because I am scared. Do you hear the frequency beneath the words? The dominant vibration is lack, loneliness, and fear. The universe, acting as a giant photocopier, hears the vibration, not the words. It says, yes, you are lacking. Here is more lack. Yes, you are lonely. Here is more isolation. This is the cruelty of the law. It gives you exactly what you are, not what you pretend to be. The secret of alignment found in the divinely feminine aspect is the art of surrender. Not giving up, but giving over. It is the shift from doing to being. In the Gospel of Philip, another text from the Nag Hammadi library, there is a discussion about the bridal chamber. This is not a physical room. It is a metaphor for the alchemical marriage of the conscious and subconscious minds. When the thought the groom enters the chamber and unites perfectly with the feeling the bride, a child is born. That child is your manifestation. But if the groom enters and the bride is screaming in terror, your subconscious trauma, your shadow self, there is no conception. There is only sterile friction. This brings us to the shadow. You cannot manifest the divine while you are rejecting your humanity. Manifest the divine teaches that we must embrace our shadow work. The parts of you that feel unworthy, the parts that feel shame, they are jamming the signal. You cannot affirm your way over trauma. You must feel it to heal it. You must integrate it. Alignment, therefore, is the absence of resistance. It is when your desire is no longer a desire which implies absence, but a knowing. Think of gravity. You do not wake up and affirm, I believe gravity will keep me on the floor today. You do not visualize yourself walking without floating away. You know, Italiano. It is a non-negotiable fact of your reality. That is the frequency of manifestation. It is neutral. It is calm. It is inevitable. When you are truly aligned, you do not feel the desperate need to check for results. Does a pregnant woman check every 5 minutes to see if the baby is still there? No. She knows the process has begun. She eats well. She rests. She prepares the room. She lives in the state of the wish fulfilled. This is what Jesus meant in Mark 11:24. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Notice the tense, have received, past tense. It is done. The separation of time is an illusion of the physical plane. In the quantum field, the version of you that is wealthy, loved, and whole already exists. Alignment is simply tuning your radio dial to that specific station and staying there long enough for the music to play. But most of you are tuning in for 5 minutes during your morning meditation, and then spending the other 16 hours of the day listening to the static of your old reality. You are canceling your own order. Let us translate this into the language of the 21st century. Today, we do not call it the bridal chamber. We call it the observer effect in quantum physics. Experiments have proven that subatomic particles exist in a state of infinite potential, a wave, until they are observed by a conscious mind, at which point they collapse into a single reality, a particle. You are the observer. Your life is the particle. But here is the glitch in your system. You are observing your current reality so intensely that you are locking it in place. You look at your bank balance. You feel a knot in your stomach, emotional charge, and you think, I am broke. Conscious thought. Boom. Wave. Collapse. You have just used the power of God within you to recreate poverty for another day. You are trapped in a loop of your own making. You are reacting to the echo of your past thoughts, mistaking them for your future. Elena River's teachings in Manifests. The divine parallel, the modern psychological concept of cognitive dissonance. Your brain is a survival machine. It prefers a familiar hell to an unfamiliar heaven. If you have identified as a victim or a struggler for 30 years, and suddenly you try to affirm I am wealthy, your subconscious mind rejects it like a virus. It views this new reality as a threat to your identity. This is why, just as things start to go well, something breaks. Your internal thermostat is set to struggle, and it will cool down the room the moment it gets too warm. To break this, you must bypass the gatekeeper. You must use the techniques of the divine feminine: softness, flow, imagination. The subconscious speaks in symbols and feelings, not words. This is why visualization before sleep, the state akin to the hypnagogic trance, is so powerful. It is the back door to the temple. In our modern world, we are addicted to the hustle. We are taught that if we want something, we must go out and hunt it, kill it, and drag it home. TC's hypermasculine energy. It works, but it is exhausting, and it is limited by your physical stamina. The secret of alignment is the path of least resistance. It is the realization that you do not need to chase what is already yours. Imagine a radio. If you want to hear 98.5 FM, you do not run around the room trying to catch the radio waves with a butterfly net. You do not shout at the radio. You simply turn the dial inside. When the internal mechanism matches the external frequency, the sound is effortless. Why is the law not working for you? Because you are running around with a butterfly net, exhausted, sweaty, and desperate, trying to catch a frequency that exists through you. You are trying to manipulate the hologram without changing the slide in the projector. So, where do we go from here? How do we break the cycle of silence? It begins with a radical act of honesty. You must stop lying to yourself about your vibration. You must look into the mirror of your life and admit that what you see is what you created. Not out of guilt, but out of empowerment. For if you created the cage, you also hold the key. Alignment is not a destination. It is a practice. It is the practice of dying to the old man, the version of you addicted to struggle, and being reborn as the divine self. It requires you to perform the ancient alchemy, to marry your intention with your emotion, to walk through your day feeling the gratitude of the wish fulfilled, even when your eyes see the opposite. This is true faith. Faith is not hoping God will do it. Faith is the audacity to believe that it is already done. Faith is walking past the empty tomb and seeing life. The apocryphal Gospel of Mary Magdalene contains a passage where the disciples ask the Lord about the nature of sin and the world. He answers them by turning them inward, toward the silence of the heart, where the good resides. Elena River calls this manifesting the divine. It is not about manifesting cars, or houses, or money. Those are just the side effects. The true manifestation is you. When you align with the divine within you, that part of you that is connected to the source of all things, you'll no longer attract. You radiate. You become a magnet so powerful that the world bends to accommodate your energy. Stop asking. Stop begging. Stop chasing. Start being. The universe is not waiting for you to deserve it. It is waiting for you to realize that you are it. The silence you hear is not God ignoring you. It is God holding a breath, waiting for you to speak the word with the authority of a creator. Align your heart, clear your mind, and let the divine take the lead.